Ooh, is that it? I think that's it. I think that's it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I feel like you guys should be saying welcome back to me. It has obviously been a while since I've caught up with you guys, which is why I am here today, as well as catch you guys up on the results of my show. So I competed, it would have been 2 weeks ago now. Today is November 15th, November 15th, and I competed on November 4th, so about 11 days ago. And I competed in 2 divisions, so I competed, let's see here, I want to make sure I get these right. So I competed in the men's novice bodybuilding, the lightweight division, and I ended up winning first place there. That is the video that you guys will have seen posted on my YouTube channel already if you haven't seen that. And then I competed in the open division in the middleweight division, or middleweight weight class, and I ended up placing 3rd out of 7th. So overall, very happy with that. You know, I don't know if I really had too many expectations heading into the show. You know, I am very aware that bodybuilding is a sport where you really can't predict the outcomes. You know, this is super cliche, but you never really know who's going to show up and stuff like that. So I really didn't have too many expectations. But I was obviously hoping to do very well, and overall I am pretty happy with my experience from the show. For my first show, I do think that it could have gone better, which is a different conversation for a different day, but I think all in all, it was an unbelievably positive experience, and that's kind of what I want to get into a little bit more today. Okay, so first things first, let's kind of fill you guys in with where I last left you guys off. So up until about the 5-week out mark, I was uploading a weekly prep vlog series, or video to a series. And that was a project that I was having a lot of fun doing at the time. Why did those stop is probably a question that you guys are wondering, because I basically kind of fell off the face of the earth after that point, at least through YouTube. I was still posting on Instagram and TikTok and everything, but the vlogs kind of stopped. And the reality of the situation was that it was just simply becoming too stressful of a time period in my life, for a multitude of reasons. So around that time, my business was growing substantially. At the time that I was posting those videos, I was getting new clients constantly, and the surge of business is obviously a very, very good thing. It's a blessing, you know, I don't want to complain about that, but trying to balance the increase in business, as well as my prep, as well as filming, editing, and producing a movie every week was basically what I was doing. Was getting to be a lot. And basically the way, in hindsight, the way that I've kind of realized this is that I'm pretty good at being invested in 2 things. So in the case of the example that I just gave, I had 3 major projects that were going on in my life. I had a booming business, I had my contest prep, and I had the content production that I was putting out on YouTube. Like I just said, I really can only handle 2 things at once. When I try to handle 3 things, something always breaks, basically. So at that time, I prioritized my business and my prep, obviously, and the content production had to get put off to a side. At the same time, it was becoming more of a I don't want to say mental stress, or mental distraction is probably a good way to put it. In the early parts of the prep, when I was feeling good physically and mentally, it was easy for me to be transparent and tell you guys my feelings and everything on camera. But as the prep started to get harder and physically I started to feel worse and worse, and mentally I started to get more anxious and nervous as the show got closer, it was harder for me to put those emotions on camera. You know, it's easy to point a camera at yourself and talk when things are going good. It's very difficult to do that when things are challenging. And there were plenty of times in the prep vlog where I was like pretty transparent about sometimes some difficult times that were going on and stress that was going on in my life. But after a certain point with the prep, the stress was so overwhelming that it was just honestly easier for me to not film. In hindsight, I do regret this to some extent. I wish that there was some degree of the stuff that I would have gotten on film, but I will also be honest and say that by and large, I don't regret it. This was my first show, but it won't be my only show. But the main thing that I was very, very concerned with or I guess focused on with my first show was just fucking finishing it and doing the damn thing and getting on stage. And it came to a point where I felt like I had to make a decision. Do I continue to like pour all of this time and energy and effort into making the vlog, or is that time, energy, and effort better spent in trying to be a better bodybuilder and present a decent package on stage? Because in my eyes, and whether this is true or not, this is the way that I think about it. In my eyes, the information and everything that I put out on the internet doesn't mean anything if I'm not backing it up and if I'm not walking the walk on top of that. So I started to feel a lot of self-imposed pressure towards the end of the prep to do good, you know, like place well. And so it was more important for me to kind of go like Dorian Yates mode, so to say, where you kind of just like hide away and just get the shit done, than try to share everything on the internet. I think as the years go on and I become a better competitor and I become more comfortable with the process of competing, it will be easier for me to share those things through social media. But for my first prep, I was laser focused on just being the best that I could be, and that meant that I had to pull back on some things. So sorry, not sorry to an extent. You know, like I said, I do regret it somewhat, but I think by and large I'm pretty happy with my decision. So basically what happened from the 5-week out mark into the show was that I just continued to suck down. I don't remember what my body weight was around the 5-week out mark, but I just continued to pull down. While I'm making this video, I'll try and overlay some posing videos and stuff in those weeks, because I have a ton of posing footage and stuff on my phone. I just wasn't posting any of it, obviously, but I still have all of it. So we'll try and get some of that stuff overlaid as I am talking. But yeah, I just really continued to suck down and down and down. At the 3-week out mark, I had a wedding that I had to go to. I went home. One of my best friends since preschool, someone that I've known literally for as long as I can fucking remember, was married or was getting married. So I went home for his wedding. 3 weeks out at a wedding, eating out of Tupperware. So you know, that was basically my life the whole prep, honestly, but especially the last couple of weeks. Had a really good time there, was on track with the prep the whole time. The next week, at 2 weeks out, was when I had a client compete in Wisconsin. So my client Joey, for those of you guys who've been following the channel for a while, may be familiar. I've kind of mentioned that a couple of times, and I was mentioning it in the prep vlog. He competed at a show in Wisconsin, so we traveled up from Wisconsin from Thursday through Saturday. Honestly, going to a show 2 weeks before my show was the best thing that could have happened for me. Going, again, to a show and being backstage and getting an idea for how the judges were calling the poses, and just being in the environment of the show and being in the environment of competition literally 2 weeks before my show was the best thing that could have happened for me. That completely gave me that last little breath of fresh air to finish the prep, basically. During that whole week of Joey's competition, I called that Hell Week because, like I said, that was 3 weeks out of my show. I wanted to be completely done with fat loss at about 2 weeks out and then reverse diet into the show. Towards the end, I started to feel like literal death. I don't want to sound like dramatic or anything, but I was feeling like complete dog shit. And I'm sure that this would be interesting if I have any of my clients who are like watching this video right now. They may be able to attest to this. There came a certain point in my client check-ins. I communicate with my clients through video and audio feedback. And there came to be a certain point with my client check-ins where I was actually feeling bad about the responses that I was giving to my clients, because I was feeling so shitty physically that I literally couldn't even keep a train of thought. I would start talking and I would forget what I was talking about. And I was like, wait, what was I talking about? I was talking very quietly. I was talking slowly, like I was a complete literal zombie. And I knew that getting on stage feeling like that was not going to yield a productive result. So that week of Joey's show was basically my last week of fat loss. So I pulled all my carbs and I went completely carbless for that whole week. I got as low as 162 pounds, which was the lowest that I had definitely been all prep, obviously, if that's the low, duh. 68 pounds down from the beginning of prep to the end of prep. And I felt horrible at that body weight, but that was kind of the last little push that I made for fat loss, just to kind of get not the last little bit of fat off, because I still had some fat that I had to lose and everything. So it was just the last bit of fat that I could get off in the allotted time period. So got that off, and then I ended up reverse dieting up into the show. With the reverse diet, I also kind of manipulated some PED stuff. So I played with my testosterone and my Winstrol dosages. Don't really want to talk about that too much, just for legalities and everything. But my last 2 weeks leading up into the show was a combination of adding in food, reducing thermogenics, so reducing my clenbuterol, and then increasing my Winstrol and testosterone dosages, and just kind of playing around with that. And my body weight actually went from a low of 162 to having me actually weigh in at 177. So I weighed in at 177, which is a crazy fucking story. I was a middleweight, and the weight cutoff is 177, and I literally weighed in at 177.0. And the first thing that entered my head was, now what? Like, what do I do now? And the guy at the weigh-ins told me to just take my sweatshirt off, and I weighed in at 175.8. But just to give you guys an idea of like how much my I hate to use the word like peak or carb up process happened. I went from a low of 162 all the way up to like 177, and I woke up on stage day at 176 point something. So that was a 14-pound swing. In hindsight, I regret swinging up that much. I wish that I would have come in lighter. Lighter, I would have definitely been tighter, and I would have been leaner for sure. I will also be pretty transparent with you guys. I'm not really like super happy with my stage pictures. Some of them I see, I'm like, oh, they're pretty decent, but for the majority of them, I'm not really happy with the look. So I think that I could have handled the last couple of weeks better. But honestly, like I seriously, you would think that I would have a sour taste in my mouth or I'd be in a bad mood about that, but I'm literally not at all. I mentioned this earlier. I know for a fact that this won't be my last competition, so there was a point in the prep where I was literally treating this show like it was the Olympia. And to an extent, I do think that you need to have that mindset. And I think that, like, at certain times, you need to have that mindset. But at the same time, like, in hindsight, I think that mindset, like, put a lot of self-imposed pressure on me. That made me just like really put too much pressure on myself for this one show. And like now knowing that I'm going to compete multiple times and this was just like the first one, I realize now that was kind of silly. So obviously I didn't have any impressions that my first show would go perfectly smooth and there would be no problems. But all in all, I'm actually like super fucking happy with how the prep went up until about the final 2 weeks. And I'm not even that mad about how the final 2 weeks went. Honestly, I'm glad that it happened because I learned from that mistake. And I know that instead of trying to... Basically, what I was doing was like trying to carb up and come in as full as I possibly could. And what I should have done was just stayed lighter and just stayed leaner, because the guy that beat me... I won the novice division, but the open division, there were two guys that beat me, and the guy that ended up winning was peeled out of his mind. So I don't think that I would have been as peeled as him, even if I had come in lighter, but it would have given me a better shot, and maybe I would have placed second instead of third. But overall, super happy with the show. I thought that I would be shitting a brick on show day, and I was actually like unbelievably calm. Honestly, even during peak week, I thought that I would be like tweaking out on peak week. Like, oh my God, I've been prepping. This was a 41-week prep, guys. I lost 68 pounds in 41 weeks. I thought, like, man, I've put in so much time and effort into this. I'm going to be freaking out in that final week. And I was unbelievably calm. Like, I was surprisingly calm. I was literally like I said, surprisingly calm. I was like, I can't believe how calm I am for how things are. So that's obviously a great thing. But it was just such a fun time. If any of you guys are considering competing, I strongly urge you guys to do it. I mean, I know that there's a voice in your head that is telling you, I'm not big enough to do it yet. And I do think to a certain extent, like, you do need to have some sort of foundation before you compete. But my mentality on how developed you need to be before you compete has changed after my first show. I wish that I would have competed years ago. Like when I first made the decision that I wanted to compete like 6 years ago. And I wish that I would have competed like 3 years in instead of waiting 6 years to do it. So if there are any new guys out there who know that they're going to compete one day and are continuously like pushing that off, I urge you guys to not push that off anymore. Like, get on stage, because this is kind of a good transition point. Where are we going from here? We're full blown into the off season, man. The motivation that I feel is not really something that I can describe, Like, I've always known that I was going to compete one day, and that I wanted to, try and be as good of a competitor as I can be. And that's something that a lot of you guys may be telling yourself too, but it isn't until you actually do it, and you actually do the first one, and you actually experience it, that you actually can like put that into perspective and actually start to realize like what it's going to actually take to accomplish that. And then once that happens, that like allows you to set a plan, if that makes sense. So basically, like, to an extent, I know where I stand as a bodybuilder. I know what I need to improve, and I had so much fun at the show that I'm super motivated to do another one. And the combination of all of those things is like the perfect storm for me, like mentally, to kick ass. Like, I am so excited to get in the gym. I've been back in the gym, but continue to like get back to work and just get better, so that the next time that I step on stage, like, I can present a better package. Because even though I'm super happy with what I presented, I know for a fact that I can present much, much, much better. And that's very exciting. That's actually very, very exciting and very motivating. So it just makes me want to get back to work and just get back to it. So that's basically where we are now. Like I said, I am like 11 days post show. My last 2 weeks of training heading into the show were really light weeks of training, just basically pump workouts and stuff like that. So I basically ran a 2-week deload going into the show. I had told myself that I was going to take a week off of the gym after the show, but after the show, I got some good food in me, and I got caught up on some sleep, and I woke up on Monday morning feeling amazing, and I was like, let's get back in the gym and get to training. And literally every single day since the show, I have felt progressively better and better and better and better and better. And so that's just never stopped. The original plan was like, I'll go to the gym on Monday, and if I feel really tired on Tuesday, I'll take the day off or whatever. And the first week back, I trained every other day. I just trained Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And this week, I feel amazing. I trained 2 days in a row, Monday, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. I've taken Wednesday off. I'll probably train Thursday, Friday, back to back. So my body weight is up 5 pounds since show day. So to give you guys a reference, like I said, 11 days. It's been 11 days, 5 pounds. I woke up on show day at 176. I was 181 this morning. So I've been eating, and I've been eating good food, and I've had a good amount of like off-plan meals and cheat meals, but I haven't been binging like a fiend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very disciplined, and I'm so motivated to make progress, that I thought that when the show was over, I was going to eat like a ravenous pig, and I'm really kind of surprised how low the cravings have been, and how easy it's been for me to manage my diet post-show. But again, I think that's a testament to how motivated I am. Like, I want to be good, I want to be better than what I was this first time around. So as far as future training and everything, I'm going to cover all of that in a future video. I have a prep related Q&A video that is going to be coming out. So I'm going to be answering some questions that you guys had asked on my TikTok about the prep. So I still have lots of stuff that I want to talk about the prep, but I kind of want to break that up into multiple videos instead of making one long-winded drug out video. But I did want to give you guys a quick little update just to let you guys know that we did take home some hardware, which I guess is kind of a shitty thing to say because everybody gets a trophy, but we did win something. I won the novice overall, 3rd place out of 7 in the middleweights, which I'm happy with. I think realistically I probably could have gotten 2nd if I had come in lighter, but live and learn. The goal next time is to hopefully make the middleweights again, because I definitely think that there's room for me to make the middleweights for sure, and win the middleweights next time in the open. And then from there, we'll see, one step at a time. But again, just wanted to take a second to update you guys and thank you guys for all the support and everything. Tons of content coming your way. I've got my energy back. The stress and everything of the show is gone. So really excited to get back to filming content and getting back to some off-season training and off-season vlogs. I know that the vlog series was going over really well, and I really enjoyed making the vlog series, but it just came to a point where it was getting too much to handle. But hopefully I can keep that running in the off season, and you guys can see kind of how I am approaching getting better, because that's really what it's all about, man, is getting better at this point. So finally did my first show, finally got that monkey off my back, got a win, which was great, feeling very motivated, and now it's just about getting better and keeping that train rolling. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to document all of that, and I hope that you guys are excited, because I am. So I'm going to wrap this one up. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for, staying tuned to the channel, even though that there was a little hiatus there. Like I said earlier, I kind of regret that, kind of don't, but I just truly felt like that was what I needed to do in order to be my best. So hopefully you guys understand. Stay tuned, guys. As always, take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.